Okay. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are feeling blessed because I feel blessed. As you know, we are talking about the mind. So we're just gonna get into it. Like this one, it blessed me. So I pray that it blesses you as well, right? So the mind. Now, this one's a really, really good one to do because everything starts, in my opinion anyway, everything starts and sort of ends in the mind and kind of begins like a cycle. So, what do I mean by that? Well, you think of things in the mind, which, governs the way you feel, which governs the action you take, which governs the result you get. And depending on that result, it will now govern the way you think again. Right? So it now becomes like this cycle where you're thinking, feeling, doing, getting, thinking, feeling, doing, getting, right? So that's why I think that everything, starts and sort of, I guess, continues in the mind. And we just have to learn to protect our mind because our mind is so powerful. When we tell ourselves we can do something, we're either going to be able to do it, right? Because we've told ourselves we can do it, or we've told ourselves we can't do it, so then we can't do it. Like, I literally see a lot of people all the time telling me that, oh, I can't. You can't because you've already told yourself you can't. And I'm a victim of this as well. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, there'll be times where I'll be like, oh, I can't do this. I'm like, Ruth, you want to check that again? Because now that I'm aware of it, I can now clock the moments where I'm telling myself I can't do this, or do I think this is going to happen, or is this achievable, or am I going to get this, right? And now I start telling myself that what you think, right, is going to govern the outcomes that you get. So you have to tell yourselves that you can do something. You have, even if you feel like you don't believe it just yet, so that's a feeling, right? You have to tell yourself that you can, because eventually the more times you tell yourself you can, you will now begin to feel it, right? So don't let your feelings control you. You control your feelings, right? And that's what a lot of us do, unfortunately. We let our feelings take the driver's seat. Because I don't feel like doing something, we then don't do it. But instead, we're meant to tell ourselves that my feelings at this moment in time might be saying that I don't want to do something, right? But I'm going to tell it to do something. And then as you're thinking that, right, you now start to feel, okay, maybe it's not too bad. Maybe I can check it out. Maybe I can try it, right? You start feeling those things, and then from that feeling, you now do, right? So that's why, like, today we are literally talking about the mind, because it is a powerful tool. And if you can, right, be in control of your mind, match out. You are gonna be so powerful. You are gonna be so, powerful to be able to actually control what it is that you do, because you can control your mind. So I got my notes as always, right? But at the same time, I'm also just gonna be flowing. So I don't know what's gonna come out. I'm gonna be blessed. I feel like you guys are gonna be blessed too. I hope you're blessed. Right? So yeah, I've already talked about how, everything begins in the mind, right? You think of something, which governs how you feel, right? That feeling governs the actions that you take, and the outcome, is produced, right, through all of those things. So then this becomes a cycle, because if you think of negative things, right, you start to feel negative. If you start to feel negative, you might do negative things, either by self-sabotaging yourself, or if that negative feeling is like jealousy, you then do something to somebody else. Or if that feeling is, I don't know, depression, right, you then don't do anything at all because you just don't feel like doing anything, right? So with all of those things, you are feeling these things which is making you do something or not do something, right? And then the result is, you either get found out by someone else, or you've done something shady, and you have to try and sweep it under the rug, which then comes back later on to bite you. So for all of you people trying to do shady things, I'm gonna tell you to stop right now. Or these type of things, or you self-sabotage yourself, and so you're now putting yourself a few steps back, right? Because you've told yourself in your mind that you feel bad or angry, jealous, sad, whatever it is, right? Now you have those feelings, right? So then you do the actions or no actions because of those feelings, and then you get that result. And then it then becomes this cycle, because now that you didn't get any result and you're upset in the first place, you're now even more upset. You're now like, see, this things just doesn't work out for me. This is why I never do anything. This is always upsetting. This is da 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 da. Right? So now you're now back in your mind telling yourself that nothing works out. It's not going to work out anyway. I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do. It's just going to be, this going to be that. So then what happens? You then start to feel even more sad, even more angry, even more depressed, even more whatever it is, right? It begins to get intensified, right? And then what happens? The actions then begin to be worse. It's kind of like how addictions start. It just starts in one small thing, and then it grows and grows and it grows to the addiction. Now it takes control over you, right? So that's how it is when we start thinking negatively, right? That's what happens. But then on the flip side, you start thinking positive, right? You start thinking good about other people, good about yourself, good about the future, good about whatever it is, right? You now start feeling good. You now wake up happy, blessed, right? You're now able to go about your day, do what it is that you need to do to get to where you need to get to, right? So now your actions are tailored to achieving your goals, achieving your dreams, your desires, all those good things, right? And then what happens? You get positive outcome. Good things start to come to you. Good things start to happen, right? And then guess what? You now start thinking more positively. So now your mind is like, yes, I'm so happy I got this promotion. Yes, I'm so happy this worked out for me. Yes, I'm so happy I got that car, that dream house, that whatever it is, right? And then you start thinking more positively, thinking, okay, yeah, now I can get this. Now I can go for this. What's the next goal? What's the next achievement? What's the next dream? And then guess what? You start feeling even more pumped, more excited, more happy, more blessed, right? And then you keep going. Right? And then your action, it becomes, I can't speak. It becomes a cycle, right? A pattern that you can now start doing, right? So that's why you have to protect your mind and protect the things that you're doing and the things that you're thinking, right? Because it's going to govern everything that you do. It's literally going to govern everything that you do. Your mind is so powerful. So powerful. And when you start realizing that, you will now become selective of the things or the people you let hang around you. When you realize that your mind is so powerful, you're going to become selective of the people or the things that you let hang around you, right? So what do I mean by that? If you are always around negative people, right? You are going to start internalizing those things, and then you can now begin to become negative yourself. If you're around people who are doing bad things, you're going to start thinking that I need to do a bad thing to achieve or accomplish something. So now you start feeling that, okay, now I gotta do bad. And so your actions is now bad, right? And then you get those results. And you're like, well, I see my friends doing these bad things, right? And that's what everyone's doing. So shouldn't I be doing the same thing? And then you're confused when the outcome ends up being negative. Or maybe temporarily it might seem like it's good, right? But then eventually it changes, right? So your environment is so important. And not even just the people, but what you listen to, what you watch, what you read, what you take in with all your senses, not just your eyes, but your ears, your taste, your everything, right? If you eat poison, guess what's gonna happen? You're most likely gonna die, or you're gonna be very ill, right? So just like if I eat poison, I know I'm gonna be ill. If I'm surrounding myself with people who are poisoning me, right? Poisoning my mind, poisoning things that I do, I am going to get very ill, or I'm going to do ill things. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope you are picking up what I'm putting down, because this is so important. A lot of us live aimlessly because we are letting our environments control us without even realizing that our environments are controlling us, right? And then again, flip it. Look on the positive side. Everything is the exact same, but on the positive side, you listen to those videos. You listen to the motivational videos, the good songs. You read good development books. Whatever it is, you now will have those positive outcomes, right? Right. So it's like what you focus on amplifies. It intensifies, right? Right. So every time you do bad, the bad that you did the first time will be a lot worse the second time. Right? Similarly, if you do good, that good intensifies and your mind starts looking for more ways to do even more good. Right? I'm glad I see you in the comments. I'm glad that this is blessing you. I really hope that this will bless more people as well, because we have to actually take control of our minds. Like, this is so serious. Honestly, a lot of the things that we see happening today is because of the way we, thought about something. Right? A lot of the bad things that we see in the world / good things, because it works both ways, is because of how we have thought about something, how we think about ourselves, how we think about the world, how we think about whatever it is, right? But it's all about the mind, right? Right? And then another thing is good or bad people, or good or bad people aren't good or bad people because they did one good or bad thing. Sorry, I'm gonna repeat that. Good or bad people aren't good or bad people because they did one good or bad thing. So this is what I mean by that, right? What you do constantly, right? What you do constantly determines who you are. So if you constantly do good, right, you will be seen as a good person. You can't expect to do one good thing and think you're a good person. It doesn't work like that, right? And so if someone who has done repeatedly good things, right? Let's say they do one bad thing, it doesn't make them a bad person because it was one bad thing. But at the same time, that can be, people might want to argue with that and say, well, if they killed someone or if they did that, I'm not going that far into everything, right? But what I'm trying to say is that when you repeatedly do good things, people see you as a good person. When you repeatedly do bad things, people will see you as a bad person. So if you're someone that, let's say you repeatedly do bad things and people see you as a bad person, for example, you can't do one good thing and think all of a sudden they're gonna look at you like you're a good person, because you have 999 other bad things that you did, right? So to become a good person, you have to constantly start doing good, right? And I mean constantly, right? And how do you do that? Again, it begins with the mind. You have to tell yourself that you're good, right? Think about good things, surround yourselves with good things and good people, right? And then from there, you will now start doing good things, right? You will now start doing good things when you constantly tell yourself you're good. That's how it works. That's literally how it works, right? And so, of course, when you now begin to do those good things constantly, yes, there will be still people who will look at you and think, oh, you're bad. That's just life. Like, I always say there's 8 billion people in the world. You don't have to like me. There's going to be someone out there who's going to like me. However, those who can truly see your efforts and see that you are thinking positively, which makes you feel positively, which makes you do positive things, they can now start seeing that, okay, this person's trying to be a good person. And then because they will see your results, they will see your actions, they will see all these things that you're doing, right? And it's the other way. If you were good all your life and you only ever did good things, and all of a sudden you started, derailing and started doing, thinking bad things, and then which made you feel badly, which made you do bad things, right? Then don't be surprised when people start looking at you as if you're a bad person, because you now started constantly doing bad things. So please, right? Be mindful of what you're going to do, right? I see y'all in the comments. But yeah. So yeah, I've already talked about how do you get there. You have to look at your environment, right? Like, who is near you. I'm sorry, but real talk, some of you need to cut your friends off. I'm so sorry. Real talk, some of you need to snip, cut your friends out. Because some of the friends that you have do not care about you. Number one. Number two, they are influencing you. If they are influencing you, I don't really think that's a good thing now, do you? Influencing you to do bad things. Influencing you to steal. Influencing you to cheat. Influencing you to lie. Right? Right? And the thing is, we get scared because we're like, oh, I've known this friend since I was like 10. And you're not helping me, bro. You're not helping me, sis. Baby girl, baby boy, listen up. Because I'm sorry, these people, right, you've outgrown them. You're trying to head somewhere and they're heading somewhere else. They're pulling you in two different directions. So you have to make the decision that I have to drop this weight to be able to head to wherever it is that I need to head to. And the longer you keep trying to hold on to them and also get to where you want to go to, you'll be stuck in the middle. Because you're trying to hold on to this person over here, but you're also trying to go for your goals and your dreams over there, and you're being pulled in both places. So guess what? You're heading nowhere. So you need to cut them off. Start thinking positively. Start surrounding yourselves with your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, all that type of things, right? People who are on the same journey as you. Because I assure you, the moment you stop looking over there and you start walking over here, you're going to find people who are walking in the same direction as you. There are people walking in both directions. So when you start walking over there, you're going to find people walking over there. When you start walking over there, you're going to find people walking over there. So you have to make a decision. Where do you want to be? You can't just stay in the middle forever. You get nowhere. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to go with? And as you start going, you see people joining you. You see people coming your way because you've told yourself in your mind that I have somewhere to get to. I have a dream, a goal, an ambition, an aspiration that I need to achieve, accomplish, and reach, right? So when you now start telling yourself that, guess what? You now will start doing things because you now feel passionate. You feel good. You feel like, yes, I can achieve this. I can go for this. And when you start feeling that, you're going to start doing those things. And then don't be surprised when you start getting the outcome. Don't be surprised when you start getting the outcome. Look at this, for example, yeah? Right. When you start flooding yourself with good things, your mind will change. I've already kind of said that. How do you expect to flood? Okay, take a pipe, for example. You flood that pipe with dirty water. What do you think is going to come out? Dirty water. Facts, right? And yes, you might be like, oh, but there might be a filter. Even then, with the filter, right, it cannot remove 100% of the impurities. It's going to take some out, most of it out, yeah, depending on how well that filter is, right? But even then, there's still going to be some elements, right? Some specks, some little, things here and there. So now imagine you didn't have a filter, right? From A to B, what you put in is what you get out. You put dirty water in that pipe, darling, honey, babes, you're gonna get dirty water. Facts. It's a principle. Right? It's a principle. So if you want to start getting clean water, then you need to start putting clean things into your mind. Right? Personal development videos. Right? Motivational videos. Right? Reading self-development books. Right? If you're a Christian, reading the Bible. When was the last time you picked up your Bible? Read the word, right? Listen to music that's going to help you. And when I say music that's going to help you, it doesn't just have to be Christian songs. There are good music out there that aren't, swearing all the time, promoting gun violence, promoting this, promoting that, promoting cheating and saying she's this, that. There are songs out there that aren't talking about stuff like that, right? So find those and learn to enjoy those. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Look at that pipe, right? You flooded it with dirty water for so long. When you now start flooding it with good water, guess what? It's not good. Isn't just going to come out straight away. Why? Because it has a backlog of dirty water. So what has to happen is that dirty water needs to be pushed out first before you can reach the clean water. Does that make sense? So it's like when people now start flooding themselves with self-development books, they expect that by tomorrow they're gonna be Bill Gates. No, it doesn't work like that. Why? Because you still have a backlog of dirty water, right? Number one. Number two, you have grown in this mindset for years. So you can't expect that in seconds, your mind is just going to change like that. Boom, right? And if it does, amazing. But from what I have seen, it takes time. You need to unlearn to relearn. Unlearn the bad things to relearn good things, right? So when you're doing it, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna say the reason a lot of people start listening to self-development books and motivational videos and all that type of stuff, and then they stop within weeks or even days, is because they feel uncomfortable, right? They're like, just it doesn't. I don't. It's not. Yeah. It doesn't make me feel good. I get, right? But you have to go through that process. You have to get uncomfortable. Because then once you're now uncomfortable, that you feeling uncomfortable is you unlearning, right? And then slowly you now start enjoying those books, those videos, those podcasts. You now start enjoying them because your mind now gets used to them, right? Just like you flooding that pipe. At first, you have to get rid of all the excess junk, the things that aren't helpful for you before the good stuff start coming out, right? Right? If you want to build anything worthwhile, it's going to take time. And I always say this, Rome wasn't built in a day. So nothing gets built within seconds. You can't expect for it to get built within seconds. But if you keep going, layering one brick at a time, watching one motivational video at a time, even if it's like 5 minutes, right? Just go on YouTube. There's like loads. There's thousands. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Another thing that you can even do practically is just put it on as you're doing other things. So for example, if you've got work to do, right, you're writing something or you're doing something, just put it in the background, right? Because even though, yes, you might not fully hear it consciously, your subconscious is sort of taking it in, right? And then as your subconscious is taking it in, you will now all of a sudden just start remembering things that you're like, oh wait, oh yeah, from that video, right? And then slowly you now start listening to it even more consciously and you're like, yes, what he said. Like there'll be times that I'll literally just, for example, I'll be washing the dishes, right? And I'm listening to the videos and then I hear something, I'm like, oh yes, talk about it. Yes, let them know. Yes, I'll be cooking and I'm watching sermons, right? So you don't have to think that, oh, I'm just gonna sit down and... You can do other things. I'll be working out and I'll be working out to motivational videos, right? So there's so many ways that you could implement it, but you have to tell yourself that you want it. You can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. And the way they don't want to be helped is because they've already told themselves they can't be helped, right? That's something I had to learn. I had to really learn this because I was like, I'm someone who wants to help people, right? And for example, even this video, it's there to help people, but yet if someone doesn't want to be helped, it doesn't matter how many words I say, it doesn't matter whatever I do, it's not going to work. Why? Because they've already clocked out. They already told themselves they don't want to be helped. So you have to tell yourself you want to change. You have to get so uncomfortable to the point that you're tired of the way you're living. A lot of people, the reason why they keep doing the things that they're doing is because they're not uncomfortable. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. You're not uncomfortable. Because if you are comfortable, I even tweeted something about this, right? If you say you want to do something, it has to be a burning desire, right? A burning desire inside of you that like you think about it all the time. Because a lot of us profess with our mouths, yeah, I want to be a 6-figure earner, a 7-figure earner, an 8-figure earner. But yet you're still working. I was about to say, no shade. right? Only sunlight round here. Only sunlight round here. Let the sun shine. No shade. But seriously, the principle is there, right? You're saying you want something. You're professing something with your mouth, but yet your actions are empty. Because even though you're talking, you're not thinking about it enough. You're not wanting it enough. You're not making your feeling, right? You're not controlling your feeling and having dominance over your feeling to say, look, I want this bad enough, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. Right? When you start thinking like that, child, you're going to see something happen. You're going to see a change. Because when you start telling yourself you want it, I'm sorry, but the actions are just going to start getting produced. And the results are just going to start getting produced. It has to. It's facts. Try it. Right? Just try it for a week, 2 weeks. Actually try thinking and wanting something. Right? Getting yourself to start feeling that way and then doing it. Try it for 2 weeks and see the results that you get. Just test it out. Like a science experiment. Right? There's a hypothesis. Jesus. Hypothesis. I can't speak. There's a hypothesis, right? And from there, you have this theory. So this is a theory, essentially. But try it out. Some people have seen the outcomes already, but some people still test it out to see if it's going to work. So just test it out. That's the worst that can happen. Right? Not them laughing at me. When you're speaking too fast, that's what happens, right? You speak too fast. Okay, right? Right? So you just have to start flooding your mind with useful things, you know? Personal development. You know, when we hear that word, we think of books. But again, personal development just doesn't have to just be books, right? Personal development is anything that develops and grows your mind. So this can be music or books, events, conventions, anything, right? So whenever you go to a concert, you're flooding yourself with that sort of music, right? So this can be anything. It doesn't just have to be books. Whatever makes you feel or develop your mind in a positive way. Going to the park and just sitting there. I don't know, going swimming. Making music. You're developing yourself, right? You're telling yourself that you're putting yourself in a good state of mind. If that makes sense. Yeah. Right? Right? I said it earlier, but the person who can learn to control their mind instead of letting their mind control them is dangerous. And you should watch out for that person. Because they are powerful. And if you want to be powerful, start controlling your mind. And don't let it control you. Right? Right? So the first step. Watch or read. Flood yourself with anything positive. Flood your senses with anything positive. Tell yourself you can do this. Use affirmations, right? I am powerful. I am strong. I am an achiever. Anything, I am, right? You have to say I am. Because when you start saying it, your body's like, yes, I am. Yes, I'm successful. Yes, I'm a 7-figure earner. Yes, I'm an 8-figure earner. Yes, I'm powerful. Yes, I'm strong. Yes, I'm mighty, right? You start telling yourself those things. Right? And then what, you want to know what step 2 is? Do it again. Step 2 is do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. Right? Bare minimum, spend about 15 minutes of your day. There is 24 hours in a day, right? If you could spend just 15 minutes, that is something. But of course, the more you spend on anything, the more it grows, the more it intensifies. This is a principle anyway. So if you really want to get that dream and you want to get that goal, then you need to spend more time doing the things that you need to do. Getting to the place that you need to get to, right? Because you have to unlearn to relearn. And the more you do it, the stronger it gets. The more you practice playing the piano, the better you become a piano player. The more you sing, the better singer you become. The more you play football, the more you dance, the more you act, the more you read, the more you do anything, the more proficient you get at that thing. So if you want to start telling your mind to do good things, you need to do more of it. You need to surround yourself with senses that can help you. What senses? Yeah, surround your senses with things that can help you, right? That's what you need to do. And then step 3, 4, and 5, right, comes as a product of step 1 and 2. So what's step 3, 4, and 5? Step 3, 4, and 5 is then governing how you feel, which governs the actions, which governs your results. Right? Because here's the thing, when you flood your mind with positivity, already your feelings start becoming altered, which changes your actions, which changes the results you get. Right? Because we always say we don't feel like doing this or we don't feel like doing that. But have you ever stopped to think that you don't feel like doing it because you've told yourself you don't want to do it? How many times have you said, oh, I don't want to go to the gym? You know you need to go to the gym to get that body that you want. But you've told yourself, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to eat healthy. I want to eat my, snacks. You've told yourself that. You said eating healthy is not for me. So the moment you said, it's not for me, your body said, yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's not. And then you just eat junk instead. Because you've told yourself. Right? A lot of us are living, like I said, aimlessly, passively. We're letting life treat us however, not knowing that you have the key and you have the power to change and alter your life. And all it starts is by thinking differently. It starts by you thinking differently. I really want to challenge you this week. Start thinking differently. Start thinking differently. And see what happens. Just see. Just see. It can't hurt you. Right? Right? Because when you are doing these things that you don't want to do, somewhere, somehow, subconsciously, right? At some point, you told yourself that you didn't want to do something, or you're not good enough to reach something. So maybe you're trying to reach a position and you already told yourself that I'm not good for it, right? And so when you told yourself that, your body is agreeing with you, saying, yeah, she's right. He's right. That's definitely what's going to happen, right? So I feel like I'm just going over the same things now. But honestly, right? Your mind is everything. It is everything. And what you put in is what you're going to get out. You want good things to happen to you? Start thinking positively. You want to reach that goal? Start thinking that you can reach that goal. You want to earn 7, 8 figures in your account? Start thinking that you are good enough and worthy enough to earn it. Because some people are like, but I see them getting it, so I know it does work. But it won't work for me. Right? Oh, I know that they must be doing something different. Like, it just won't work for me. So every time you're telling yourself that, you're mentally checking yourself out. You're like, yeah, I can't be on their level. So guess what? You're never going to be on their level. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be here like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You told yourself you can't be on their level. Don't worry. You'll get there. No. You tell yourself you can't be on their level, you will never be on their level. So start telling yourself that you're worthy enough to be on their level. And guess what? You will be on their level. Tell yourself that you're worthy. A lot of us have checked out because we don't think that we're good enough for that position, for that role. And I do this to myself as well. I'm like, oh, I don't think that my skills is good enough to this, or I'm not that good. And I tell myself that. And I'm like, girl, if you don't snap out of it, the heck? Okay, cool. You might not be like them, but it doesn't mean that you can't reach a position where you are like them. And even then, you have your own style. You have your own uniqueness to it. So that's okay. Be you. Like, I really, really pray that this has blessed y'all because, I think about it to myself. The mind is such a hard thing to conquer. But like I said, the person that can conquer it, they are dangerous. And it takes daily. Like, for all my Christians out there, right? In Romans 12:2, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning that it is a repetitive thing. It's not just gonna happen once. When you're renewing something, to me that sounds like you're starting again, you're refreshing it, you're adding to it, all that sort of thing, right? So when you're renewing your mind, right, you are going at the start and saying, okay, I can do this today, I can do it, I'm adding more things to it. Kind of like how I don't know, if any metal is like clanking and I don't know, making noise, you have to renew it by adding more oil to it or something. I don't know if that's a good example, but you know what I mean? You have to do something to it all the time. For example, you don't add petrol to your car, darling, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So just like that, you need to renew your mind every day. You need to fill it up, kind of like you're filling your tank. You need to fill it up with good things, right? Because then it means that you can go far. And on top of that, you can even help other people along the way. Because you have petrol in your car, guess what? You can help pick up other people. Because you have the space and the capacity to help them as well. But guess what? You have to help yourself first. I can't be talking to you guys about what I'm talking to you guys if I don't know this information. I can't be sharing it with you if I didn't see it from somewhere else or I didn't take it in from somewhere, right? So just like that, now that you have it, it's now your turn to now help other people, to now talk about it to them, have conversations with them, talk about how you can be better in X, Y, and Z, how you can help each other, right? How, do you want to go with me to this direction so that we can get to our goals and dreams and aspirations and visions and all those things that we have for ourselves? Do you want to do that? Do you want to come with me? And then you take them along with you, right? Everything starts, and I want to say ends, in the mind, right? It becomes this cycle. So get your mind right and it will get your life right. Let me say that again. Get your mind right and it will get your life right. So step 1, flood your mind with positive things. Step 2, do it again. Step 3, and 4 and 5 will come as a result of step 1 and 2. Right? So that's what I want to say to you guys. I really hope and pray again that this has blessed you. Right? Your mind is powerful. So treat it as such. Anything that is worth having needs to be taken care of. So take care of your mind. Okay? So thank you, Jesus, for this live. I pray that he has blessed everyone, because the mind is a powerful tool and we know that you are in control of our mind. So Father God, as we do things, as we go about our daily journeys and whatnot, we pray that you just help us with our minds, and that every day we will have the opportunity to renew it, and renew it with good things and with your love and all the wonderful things that you have in store for us. So thank you, Jesus, that you are an amazing God. And I pray that this life has just been a blessing to everyone. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Amen. So guys, thank you so much for joining me, right? No problem. I'm so glad that this one has blessed you, right? Go rewatch this, share it with a friend, do what you need to do, and have a lovely week, right? Have a blessed week and start thinking positively. So guys, until I see you next, stay blessed, don't stress, and I will catch you after the test. Bye!